Yo, 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 it's the committee podcast checking back in with you. I am Adolphus Savage with a couple of my friends. Going ahead and kicking it to them so they can introduce themselves. So, what's up, everybody?
Hey, it's Lauren L. Ashley 87 on Twitter, but I'm never on there, so don't at me.
Yes, do not at Lauren because if you do, she will not respond to you for like 3 weeks. But
Ugh.
this is Marcus Sniffles. Also, I'm on Twitter. You can find me under that same name.
Hey, shout out to, of course, South Breeze 706, who's currently giving the newly released or soon to be free OJ Simpson one of his last conjugal visits, so he's not with us tonight.
God
Shout out to
damn.
him.
Jesus.
You know what?
Oh
Forget him.
my,
He know
oh
he could have
my.
showed up. Oh well. Anyway, speaking about that topic, I'm gonna go ahead and not do a worst tweet of the week because I don't have anything that's a worst tweet. I've been kind of a little bit slacking on the Twitter, similar to Lauren. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get straight into the OJ Simpson getting parole no later than October. Is coming home. I just want to kick it off with saying white people are still mad.
They're still mad.
They're still mad. I'm like,
They're big mad.
I was reading in some comments, which if and everybody's never done this on CNN, on Yahoo, on Fox, don't read the comments. It's always laced with racial comments. I'm reading this nigger should have never got off in the first place. He needs to do the time for those murders, blah, 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 this and that. And to me, it's like they forget that I don't know if it's Detective Furman or not, but
Fox News correspondent Mark Furman. He works for Fox News.
Wow.
He works for Fox News.
He actually planted evidence. So it's kind of like, okay, well, did he really kill him or not? But regardless of that, he's been acquitted of that crime.
And he was hella racist.
Yeah, Furman was. And like Dave Chappelle said, Furman, any nigga named Furman is obviously racist. So what are you guys' thoughts on the newly soon to be free OJ Simpson and just the racial tension that's still there over 20 years later?
Well, me personally, I'm a big fan of CNN, so of course I watched the commentary on it yesterday, and obviously you have a white guy and then you have a black lady up there talking about it, but just from a legal perspective, you can't. Well, you can take into consideration other crimes when you're looking at parole, but because he was acquitted, it's not something that you would look into. And I feel like, and I think a lot of people feel like he was overcharged in the first place. They were trying to literally get back at him with these charges for that murder that he got acquitted on. So at the end of the day, I just feel like he's done his time. He's done more than enough time because he got too much time for the crime that he actually did, commit. And he's paid his debt to society like 10 times over, because wasn't there a civil suit as well where he had to pay money, millions of dollars?
Yeah, he lost that.
Anything. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That was my thing with OJ, because he did lose that civil suit. Like any money that he made from then on, he was supposed to pay back to the family of Nicole, his wife. But before this trial, OJ wasn't making any money. He actively just didn't make any money. He just lived off his like retirement NFL pension or whatnot. So I'm more curious about when he gets out. Is he going to try to cash in on his name? Because while he's been in prison, a lot of people have been making money off of OJ. You look at Jay-Z's album 444, he has the OJ song. FX had a special about the OJ trial that won an Emmy. ESPN did a 30 for 30 on OJ that won an Oscar. So at one point, is OJ ever going to try to cash in on his name? Because he could make a lot of money. But the thing is that money is going to end up going to Nicole Simpson's family, and he owes them like $33 million. So he's going to be in the hole for a while.
Yeah, he is going to be in the hole for quite some time.
Whatever happened with that book that he was supposed to make, that if I done it, if I did it, this is how I would have did it type book?
Yeah, the family of Nicole, they because any money he would have made off of that book would have went to them. They actually just bought the rights to the book and changed the title to make it insinuate that he did do it. And I think they did release it, but it wasn't
released, so it's out there.
Yeah, but they kind of like changed the title to make it look like, you know, OJ did it, and so they made some money off of it, but OJ hasn't made any money off of his own name for the last like 25 years.
Yeah.
I just found it funny how he was talking to them people in his parole hearing. He was talking real slick to them. And I was like, OJ, you keep talking like that, they're gonna send your black ass back in jail. Like you might want to chill out talking.
Yeah, he was acting like he knew he was about to go home.
Yeah,
it really did seem like it, and I think that because you know he made that comment about and they analyzed the hell out of that comment where he said I've lived basically a conflict-free life. So like on CNN yesterday, they were playing all of his Nicole Smith's. They were playing her 911 calls related to domestic violence.
Okay, well, why are they trying to slander this man after the fact? I mean, honestly, that case and that murder trial, once again, was over 20 years ago. He's been acquitted of it thanks to whatever the LAPD had going on there back then. I'm not sure. I was a little kid when this happened. But, I mean, it's kind of like, let's separate the two trials. He did his time for the burglary incident or armed robbery. It's time for him to go home. He got the maximum sentence that you can get for doing that. 33 years. He served 8, no trouble at all. Just let the man go. Like, why are y'all trying to keep this man in prison for the rest of his life for a crime that he has been he didn't do it. He's not guilty.
The thing that's funny is that like people are mad at the wrong person. Don't be mad at OJ, because if any of us were in that situation where we're accused of double murder and you get off, you're gonna be like, hell yeah. Like, I don't care what y'all think. I ain't in jail. The person they need to be mad at are, you know, Marsha Clark and I'm drawing a blank on the dude's name. The prosecution, if you watch any of those TV shows, any of those 30 for 30s or, you know, FX, the prosecution did a piss poor job. They were unable. It's basically like if you had a game-winning layup and you just bricked the layup. Like, it's an easy case. It was an open and shut case. They were unable to do it. They were unable to close the deal. Mark Furman's racist ass couldn't keep his mouth shut. So don't blame OJ, because if I was OJ, I'd be like, y'all can be mad at me all y'all want. I ain't in jail no more, so y'all can suck my dick.
But I think that's the problem, though, when it came to the prosecution.
Why?
It's like, oh, this is a black guy. He killed a white girl. It's open and shut. We don't have to do any real work. And 20 years later, 30 years later, 40 years later, they're still trying to punish him for it, which is ridiculous.
Still trying to pin the tail on the juice. That's what they're trying to do. Pin the tail on the juice.
I mean, the thing is, it don't, like, if in America, if you're a person of color and people feel like you got off, even if you didn't get off, even if you served your punishment, they're still going to be mad at you. How many people before Michael Vick went on Fox Sports 1, how many people were still talking about, yo, fuck Michael Vick and that dog killing ass, you know, whatever. How many people were still doing that to this day? That was like
over some fucking dogs. That was really annoying.
Hey, hold on. Don't do that, because I don't want that hate to come to this podcast. I'm over some dogs.
Yeah, my thing. How long ago did that happen? How long ago did he serve his time for that crime? Yeah, people are still mad.
I cannot believe he even went to jail. There are white people, white celebrities that have committed crimes, financial crimes, actual crimes, drugs, and they've never seen the inside of a jail. So for him to go to jail for some dog fighting, I feel some type of way about it. I think
Yeah, I mean, whether or not that's a crime is, you know, up in the air. My thing is the fact that people are still mad at him for it. People are going to be mad at OJ for the rest of their lives, and people are going to be mad at Michael Vick for the rest of their lives. My issue with that, I don't want to get too off topic.
I don't know if they're mad at him for that. I think they're just because he's successful, you know, thing to keep from giving a black person their props or where props are due. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just think they're. My only issue is the fact that they're going to be mad at people like Michael Vick and OJ for the rest of their life, but they're not going to say anything about, you know, Ben Roethlisberger or any of these, you know, like you're saying.
Can I get what about George Zimmerman? I mean, is anybody mad at him? Are they really as mad at Casey?
George Zimmerman is not white, though. So, yes, everybody.
He looks white. It doesn't matter. He looks white. Are they still as mad at Casey Anthony?
They are.
Answer me that.
Yes.
They're as mad at Casey Anthony than they are at O.J. Simpson.
They're not at the thing,
or even Michael Vick.
The thing with Casey Anthony is the only people that seem to be really upset with her are mothers. Like mothers they're done with her. Like
everybody. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying like dudes, like men without kids. Like even me, I got kids and I don't really care about Casey. You say Casey?
Feel any kind of way about Casey Anthony?
I kind of don't. Not really. No.
Oh my goodness. What kind of father are you?
I just don't. Like I hear that.
Okay.
I hear that.
We're going to sidetrack. I just have a question. So let's just say you're in the military and you had duty for a weekend or something like that. So you were away and you got a son or a daughter, maybe both. So let's just say you came home from duty and you was like, hey, to your wife, where's my son? She'd be like, I don't know. I ain't seen him since Thursday. How would you feel about that?
I would obviously be upset about that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't feel
That's basically what happened.
That's what happened. But when I hear the name Casey Anthony,
because it wasn't your child, you don't care.
He's saying that. No,
hang on. Go
ahead, explain your part.
My thing is, it's kind of the same thing with OJ. Casey Anthony was an open and shut case. The prosecution should have been able to prosecute her, and they didn't. So I don't really feel some type of way about that. Now, mothers, they feel a way about Casey Anthony. White people feel a way about OJ. Black people feel a way about George Zimmerman.
Casey Anthony wasn't an open and shut case because for a long time they did not have a body, and when they did have a body, they could not definitively prove how she died. They couldn't prove, first and foremost, that she was actually murdered. She could have died of natural causes. They don't know how she died. So,
well, I think what the main thing is here is people as a whole, white people, care more about some motherfucking dogs than they do about the Casey Anthony thing. That's all that we're trying to get at here. It's not about who believes your personal beliefs, this or that. Because I don't have kids. I know who Casey Anthony is. Whatever. If she gets caught, she gets caught. If not, oh well. It's just how jacked up the justice system can be at times. But the problem is that people are they'll sweep that under the rug. If they can get OJ instead of Casey Anthony, they'll do it. If they can get Michael Vick again, or even if you want to take this one step forward, and this is something that's going on now, if they can give Colin Kaepernick jail time, they'll do that.
Cut your hair, Colin. Cut your hair.
Yeah, cut your hair, nigger. It's just the nature of the beast that we live in and we have to deal with. Yeah. You are real amped up this day on this day. Shoot. My goodness. So before I segue it on out, any more on this OJ thing and anything else?
Yeah, I'm very curious to see who gets the first interview from OJ. I think it's going to be I think Fox News will get him first.
Oh, if he interviewed Fox?
He's been in jail for a long time. Like y'all don't forget how OJ was. Don't forget that this is I'm not black, I'm OJ. This is this guy.
Listen,
he's hanging out with Trump before Trump. Yeah.
I think he should charge whoever he gives the first interview to. He should charge $35 million.
Hey, go ahead and clear them debts.
Yeah, right.
But
I wonder who will be willing to pay that much though for that interview.
Trust me, it'll be some people that'll put together some things. I think if they could actually release that book would have did numbers. Like it really would have.
I think so. Well, I don't know. I thought he said that they did, so I don't know.
I'm gonna check that up on Amazon on the Kindle and see what's up. But speaking of doing numbers, different things like that, Fetty Wap, the Fetty Wap incident. So he stopped communication with the young lady he was seeing. She chose to abort the baby. I'm gonna slide this over to Marcus Sniffles. What are your thoughts on this peculiar situation?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because people are getting upset with her for doing that. And I can understand why you're upset if someone got an abortion at 6 weeks. My thing is that if you know that the person that you're having a kid with is not going to be there for you and isn't willing to call you or text you and delete your number and blocks you on, all social media, I can understand why someone's like, you know what? I just don't want to deal with this person. And the only connection that we have is with this baby, and I don't want to deal with this guy for 18 years. So I can understand why she did it. If I was, her brother or, dad or whatever, I don't know if I'd advise her to do that. That'd be a tough conversation to have. But I understand why she did it. I don't think I'm mad about her for it. I'm not going to get up in arms about it.
Pause you just for a second, because we do have a woman on, and I'm not sure of your views on certain things, but what are your thoughts on that? If you were in that situation, you're going to have a baby by a superstar who's not answering his phone. Is that even something that's an option? I know that you're a mother of multiple kids, but is that something that's even an option? Just because the guy's not answering?
Yeah, no, it really isn't. And it's actually kind of silly. It almost makes me feel like, well, maybe it wasn't his, or, there was something else going on with that situation, because at 6 weeks, like, you can legally have an abortion, I think, up to 12 weeks. There's time. Maybe he didn't answer the phone in the beginning, but regardless if he answers the phone or not, the baby's going to be taken care of if you know that it's his for a fact, if you know for a fact that it's his. So I think that there may have been some underlying reasons why she actually did what she did. I don't buy, oh, he didn't answer the phone, so I'm going to abort this child. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to see, like, who she was, so I need to look at her so I can make some more assumptions.
You gotta check your Twitter, because
I gotta see. Yeah, I can't find my password.
Oh no. Well, yeah. The thing is that when the girl found out that she was pregnant, she did tell Fetty Wap that she was pregnant.
So he knew.
Yeah, he knew. So at the beginning, they were in constant communication, and then just all of a sudden he just cut her off.
Maybe he was busy. Like, was he on tour or something?
No. I mean, when's the last time you heard a Fetty Wap song? This nigga ain't.
I don't.
Yeah, this nigga ain't busy.
Wasn't he at the BET Awards? Maybe he was preparing.
Okay, but it's one of those things where, like, if you're talking with somebody and they just cut you off completely, and you see them on Twitter all day, liking stuff on Instagram, posting videos like, "Oh, I'm just in the bed chilling," and then you call them and you go straight to voicemail. Or they say your number's been blocked, stuff like that. He was being petty Wap. He was being hella petty and just cut her off and was just like, I don't need to talk to you. You don't need to talk to me. And my thing is like you said, most women in that, well, I don't want to stereotype all women, but if you're someone who gets pregnant by someone that has millions of dollars, most women in that situation would be like, well, I'm just gonna ride it out anyway. I don't care how dumb, I don't care how, immature this dude is and whatever, I'm still going to be taken care of.
That's a paycheck.
And she was just like, I don't know, maybe Fetty Wap ain't putting it down like he wants to, or like, he talks about it. And she's just like, it ain't even worth all that. I'm just going to move on and cut him off.
That I still think it's crazy though. Like, it was a paycheck. I mean, and
really, that's how you really feel.
It sounds bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
I'm gonna wash my son. I'll be
back. Yo. How many times do you hear, like, people on Twitter talking about, oh, the only reason you sleeping with this dude is for a paycheck. The only reason you kept this baby is for a paycheck. The only reason you at this concert is for a paycheck. And this woman was like, you know what? Fuck the money. The money ain't the money ain't that important to me. I don't know.
Well, she could have still had the baby and said, fuck the money. Like, at the end of the day, you not reaching out to me, then,
Well, I mean, I don't want to sound like callous or anything like that, but what's the point of having Fetty Wap's baby if you can't have Fetty Wap's money along with that baby?
What do you mean? What's the point of having? It's not. Okay.
No. I understand, like, having kids, the beauty of kids, but if you're going to have a millionaire's kid, what's the point of having that kid without the millionaire's money that comes along with it? Like, that's automatic. If I have a millionaire's child, I expect to be taken care of by that millionaire.
She didn't even have to get his money. She could have had his baby and been on one of those shows. What they call it, Love and Hip Hop or something like that. She could have been on one of the reality shows and made her own money. I don't know what was wrong with her. Did she already have kids?
I don't know. She looked fairly young from what I saw from the video. She looks pretty young, so I don't know.
She just a baby. She didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, honestly, she probably might have made a mistake because, like you said, she could have cashed out from Fetty Wap. She could have took that and then been on a reality show. Because I think, is he on a reality show?
No, I don't know.
He was on a reality show or he made an appearance. But that reality show money that's pretty good money. It's not. I mean, I don't know what she was doing before that, but you can take that money. You can put your kid through school. You can go through school. You can buy yourself a house, get yourself situated. You know, get your body back in shape, and then find another rapper to get pregnant by.
But I'm tripping because I want to know who paid for the abortion, because at the end of the day, it's like, can I at least get this money to pay for this abortion since you ain't answering the phone?
Yeah, like, that'd be a question I would have asked. That'd have been a good follow-up. Like, who paid for this though?
I'm confused. Like,
yeah, like and my thing was like a lot of people were getting upset at her for having that abortion, but it's like, you know what? It's her body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't force you can't force someone to have kids if they don't want to.
And I think she was damned if she did, damned if she didn't. Because, like you said earlier, you know, had she had the baby, it would have been like,
you just a gold digger,
right? You just had, you know, you did it to have the get the money or whatever. So I don't know. People are gonna be mad regardless of what people do. So you might as well do what you want to do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when she was talking about it, she seemed like she was at peace with her decision. Like, it didn't seem to really bother. Like, I don't know. She didn't seem bothered. She didn't seem like upset. It was just more like matter of fact. Like, yo, this is what I did. These were my reasoning. This was my reasoning. Not that she has explained anything to the public.
Right.
She might, feel obligated to explain something to Fetty Wap, but I mean, she don't need to come out here and tell us that. Like, no one would have known that Fetty Wap got a girl pregnant had she not gone on TV.
Yeah, like you said, nobody's checking for Fetty Wap. Anyway.
Really, right. But I guess, I'm pro-life, so I don't necessarily believe in abortion. However, the thing is I guess I'm more apt to say, if you know that, you're going to struggle and you can't take care of a baby, as opposed to whatever, then, if that's what you feel is right for you in your situation at that time, then that's your decision. But you're pregnant by a millionaire. I'm confused. So I just can't, I don't see a good rationale behind it.
I mean, I would like to do some additional research, because one of my questions would be, is this her first child? Because then, of course, maybe you don't want to have your first child with someone and you have a baby father that's not even speaking to you. I mean, maybe that's one of her trains of thoughts. That's all I can think about.
I mean, you can go up and down Twitter, like on especially like on Father's Day, Mother's Day. You're gonna see hella people talking about how much they hate their baby mama or their baby daddy because they're not on speaking terms, they're not on good terms. And when I look at that and I'm like, yo, I don't want that kind of drama in my life. I do not want to deal with that. And maybe she felt that same way. But,
I'll say this. Let me just, on a personal note, it was funny because when I got pregnant, I found out I was pregnant with my third child like 2 weeks after I served my ex-husband with divorce papers. So he had already moved out of the house. Oh, and so I had called to check on abortion. I had got me some adoption paperwork. I was like, I'm not gonna have this dude's baby. Oh, another one? No. But I mean, at the end of the day, she's here because I have 3 kids. So, you feel some type of way in the beginning, like you go through a lot of emotions. But I feel like her decision was just rash. Like, she had that first emotion and she went with it. Like, she didn't really think it through, because everybody goes through shit. Everybody's situation is fucked up or not what they expect it to be.
Yeah,
so, everybody except mine.
Yeah, if I was related to this young lady, I would have told her to keep that kid, because my sister, she met Dwight Howard when Dwight Howard was with the Magic. Like, this is peak Dwight Howard, and she was like, I don't know who this dude is, and she just kind of blew him off. And I was just thinking, like, yo, you could have been you could have been Dwight Howard's 8th baby mama. You could have cashed out. What is? Like, I'm still mad at her for that.
Groupie, sir?
I'm just saying, Dwight Howard's got 7 kids.
So you want your sister to be a groupie? Is that what you're
saying? And wait, and his sister's kind of tall too, so she could have possibly had an NBA baby.
Exactly. My niece and nephew could have been in the WNBA or the NBA, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. Yeah, he's selling his sister out for some.
I'm just saying, if Kyrie pulled up, you know what I'm saying? Well, Kyrie like white girls, so never mind.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna discuss Kyrie because
Yeah, that's a whole other.
Yeah.
Black men who date white women.
He's a traitor. That's what he is. He's trying to leave Cleveland. I don't understand it. But what I want to do now, this is actually a topic that was brought to us by yourself, Lauren. Do you want to elaborate on this topic that you had with 706 South Breeze or South Breeze 706?
Yeah. So him and I we were talking about whether when you're in a relationship, whether married or dating someone, is it okay for you to have friends of the opposite sex? So my personal situation was I was real close friends with a guy. He ended up getting a relationship with a girl. They eventually got married. She didn't like me. I don't know why she didn't like me, but he deleted me on Facebook. He blocked my number, and I was, trying to reach out to him because we talked, quite often. And then I found out that I was blocked or whatever. So I texted him from a friend's phone. I was like, hey, I was like, what's up or whatever. And he was
Wait,
like, well,
hold on. You texted from a friend phone?
I texted him from a friend's phone. I did.
Oh, okay. Keep going. I just wanted to verify.
Is that a problem?
I mean, if he took the time to block you, I probably wouldn't. Like, that's on some stalker stuff. But you go ahead with your story. I apologize.
So you're calling me a stalker? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Anyway, but no, needless to say, he just told me, he was like, she wasn't cool with our friendship, and sometimes you have to cut your finger off to save your hand. That was his terms. So I just thought it was kind of fucked up because during our friendship, I was actually in a relationship as well, and the guy that I was dating had a problem with our friendship. But I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna go to somebody and be like, hey, I'm in a relationship now, so I can no longer have our friendships. I think that's stupid. So I just want to get somebody else's opinion on how do you feel about your significant other having friends of the opposite sex?
Okay, so did you want me to start off with this, Marcus?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so first, before I sink my teeth into this, I want to actually give a shout out to someone. My gold teeth, by the way.
Jesus.
I was what is going on? Is there something in his mouth?
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me get professional. So, first, I want to give a shout out to Stephanie Smith. She's a friend that I have that listens to this podcast. She's a friend of the opposite sex. She actually does a lot of good with me and my relationship because sometimes I can be childish and petty and I do things. And that's why it's good to have friends of the opposite sex to kind of put you in your place when it comes to a relationship. I think one of the biggest problems with people is the fact that they do have certain immaturity. Your friend, if he was your true best friend, he should have stepped up, dropped his nuts and said, look, me and her, we have no sexual history. We're just cool. And she's actually a really valuable asset in my life. And you should have went forward with that. Like, me and my current girlfriend, we have arguments.
Wait. Let me ask a question. Just based off what you just said. So that was accurate. We never had a sexual relationship. However, there were several times that, he sent me, dick pics.
Oh, god damn.
Okay, now wait a minute. He is taking it too far, but okay.
Yo, yeah, you can't. Y'all can't be friends no more.
No, I still don't think it's fair because at the end of the day, so he wanted to have a relationship with me.
Yeah, that nigga don't want to be your friend.
Well, no, that's not true. Because
I don't send dick pics to my friends.
Yeah, I don't either.
So listen, initially he wanted to talk to me. I was not interested in that way. And so we became really good friends. And it was never anything more. And he got in a relationship with this girl. So at the end of the day, we had been friends for like a year before they got together. And that was a year after the whole him sending me pictures and wanting to try to have an intimate relationship with me. So does that matter?
Hold up.
That does matter.
Yeah, it does. So,
but I never had sex with him.
I'm saying he tried to get with you at the beginning and then you turned him down. So y'all became friends. After that moment, did he try to get with you after that? Was there any moment where he was like, yo, let me just try to slide this dick pic again?
No, and actually he came up. We went to a Jags game together. And he came. He slept on the sofa. I went and got in the bed. He didn't come. I didn't wake up, and he was in the room. But it was nothing like that. Like
okay, but let me ask you this. Just pause 1 second. Was he still slightly trying it? Like maybe not sending the pics. But was he still kind of trying it at least? Or were you guys just completely friends?
So, I mean,
because if he was still trying it, then he probably was happy he got a girl so he can kind of get rid of pretending to be your friend.
Well, there was one time when he was with the girl that he ended up marrying. She was pregnant with his baby. And he was saying that I should give him some pussy because, you know.
Okay, no, you're not explaining the whole story. Yeah, y'all can't be friends.
Y'all can't be friends.
It's nah.
Nah, see, in general.
But the whole thing, but wait a minute, because my whole thing is, and so the guy I was dating, I was really honest and upfront because he asked me, did we have sexual history? And I said no. And I told him basically when we first started talking, that's what he was trying to talk to me, but we've never had sex. He was like, oh, but he wanted to fuck you. I was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, then that makes a difference because sexual history, if I'm sending you, you know, dick pics.
But then, you have to, so basically there's no trust for me in a situation because I turned him down before I was even in a relationship with him. So
I wouldn't say for you, but for him, because if he was sending you those style of pics, who knows at what point he's willing to take advantage of you. You could have one of those drunk nights. He can slide you a roofie, slide you some ecstasy or something of that nature and easily take advantage of you because it's obvious that it's something sexual for him.
Yeah,
especially if he's with a girl and still ask you for some, then yeah, you should be relieved he's not in the picture.
My thing is this dude is not your friend. He wants to be more than because if you told him I kind of want to dare you to do this, but I don't want you to like mess up this dude's relationship. But I'm willing to bet if you texted this dude right now was like, yo, I'm ready. Like I want us to be a thing. He would drop his wife right now and probably come
to his wife.
I think he might. Are you sure about that? Are you 100% sure about that?
I'm not. So we ain't gonna even try.
See, that's the thing. That's why I don't think y'all can be friends. Now, in general, like without all that background stuff, like on paper, I do believe like men and women can be just friends. And if you're married, you can like I have female friends that I've been friends with that I've known longer than I've known my wife, and she understands that, and she has male friends that she's known longer than me, and I don't feel, insecure about her, going to the gym or hanging out or going out drinking or anything like that.
Wait a minute now, she wants to the gym with these male friends.
No, she's gone to the gym with. It's been like her, a female friend, and two female guys. They'll all go to the gym or something like that. I honestly. I don't feel insecure. I don't feel any kind of way about that because those are her friends. What do you do? My thing is, do I trust her or not? And I do. So why would I be like, well, send me a picture every 10 minutes to make sure you ain't doing nothing. Text her every 5 minutes. Because if I'm doing that, then why am I with her? Because I clearly don't trust her. If I can't trust my wife to hang out with her male friends and she can't trust me to hang out with my female friends and there's no sexual history, like there's none between me and the friends that I have that are female. There's none. Now, if she can't trust me to hang out with them and I don't trust her to hang out with them, then why are we together? Because we clearly don't trust each other.
So let me ask you this. Is there a female, let's just say even a female that you have liked in the past, so you don't have any current friends, female friends, that you were like, oh, I would hit that, or she's fine, where that you would initially wanted to talk to them and it didn't go there and now you guys are just friends? And if you did, when you got with your wife, would you have ended that friendship?
My thing is the female friend that I'm the closest with, when we first met, I hated her. And I honestly, to this day, to this day, I have no idea why we're still friends or how we became such good friends. Because when I first met her, I could not stand her. And there was no type of connection, no type of like, maybe
so
if I try this.
We want those kind.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like all the females that I have ever been attracted to and wanted to gift with, I just don't talk to them. Like if I've ever like had a sexual relationship with you, I I don't talk to you no more.
That's not really a friendship. And I've even had that situation before where it was a girl that we started out trying to talk, and ultimately it didn't work out, and we actually turned out to be pretty good friends, actually to the point of becoming best friends. But there was never no exchange of sexual pics. There was never, like, it was like, okay, we tried to talk. That was years ago.
I just want to throw that out there. There was no exchange. I sent nothing back.
But he sent them, and I'm saying there was no pics.
He fired off that missile.
Okay, well there was a, he dropped the pic. You took the pic, whatever.
I had no choice.
You accepted the pic.
He pulled up from half court with that pick, yo. He was just yo, let me shoot my shot real quick. Like he did not care.
And what I'm saying is I've never done that to any of the ladies that I would like to call my friends. I've never sent them any inappropriate pics. I've never tried them in any way. Like, I just don't do that stuff. Like, I look at them similar to how you would look at a younger sister, an older sister, a cousin, or something like that. Like, I don't send them any type of pics. I don't look at them any type of way. I mean, I think they're all attractive people. And actually, some of my friends, like one of them, I'll go ahead and call her name. This girl that I'm friends with, Sharnice, she's very, very, very attractive. And guys are always like, dang, you ain't never tried her, blah, 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 this and that. And it's like, no, I haven't. Like, she's a really good friend to me and has been a really good friend to me. My friend used to talk to her, and I used to talk to several of her friends and family members and everything else. And we just never looked at each other in that way. And I never would, because sometimes you have to put a value of the friendship over me sending dick pics.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just different because, like, I think for me, it's not about, for me personally, it's not always about looks. Like, I'm turned on by good conversation. And so, like, there's this guy I used to work with. We used to talk, we used to have real deep conversations about everything all the time. And I was like, and I consider him even now a really good friend, but he could get it if he went in a relationship.
And see, I mean, like I said, I try not to.
Friends, and I don't feel like I don't feel like, because I feel like if I was in a relationship, I wouldn't say, oh, we can't be friends anymore, because if I wasn't, he could get it. I don't feel like, oh, I should.
But now, are you really friends, or do you have an ulterior motive behind the friendship? Because I know a lot of guys that will accept that friend zone on the basis that they can at any point come out and grab the girl. I know a lot of guys that are like that. That's actually common practice.
He doesn't even know I feel that way. Like, it's nothing. I've never made it known. In my mind, I know it. I've talked to a female friend about it, but he doesn't have the slightest clue. Like, I would never disrespect his relationship in that way. So no, but I'm just saying. But I don't feel like if I were to get in a relationship tomorrow that I need to not be friends with him anymore because I've had that feeling about him. You know, we're all adults. Like, we know right from wrong, and we should have self-control. So my whole thing is, whether we've been intimate before, whether we've not been intimate before, like, my friends are my friends. The people I talk to, the people that I talk to.
Oh, okay, wait, pause. I'm gonna ask you this then. If you met a guy and he has friends that he has been, like, maybe he has a friend with benefits, but they're really friends. They just kick it, get it in when they both don't have anyone. If he got in a relationship with you, would you still allow him to kick it with that friends with benefit person that ended up as his best friend?
I don't care.
No, you're not gonna sit there and lie to me. Be truthful, because we all care. If there was some guy that was fishing around with any girl that I've ever messed with in the past, like, I always keep my eyes on everything. I look at all those friendships.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if it's different, but, like, when I got the last relationship I was in, when I got into a relationship with him, he had a baby on the way. And so his thing was, the week before the baby was born and up until, like, 2 weeks after the baby was born, he planned to go and stay at this girl with her house, basically, be with her basically 24 hours. And I was like, okay, cool. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And my friends are like, you okay with him staying over there? I mean, the whole thing about it for me is I have to be able to completely trust the person, or I just can't have anything to do with you. Like, if I can't trust you, because they've had sex before doesn't mean they're going to have sex again, one. And just because you've never had sex at the time that you got in a relationship doesn't mean that you're never going to have sex with them. So like there's no scenario where you're totally protected from your spouse or your mate cheating on you. So
I do feel like if you stay friends with someone that you have had sex with and you get into a new relationship, the chances of you guys having sex again are a little bit higher than they were if you had never had sex before. Not saying that you're automatically gonna sleep with this person just because you did in the past, but I mean the chances are a little bit higher because it's kind of like there's still that chemistry there.
I think that's a common misconception though, because like I hear people say, "Oh, baby mamas always still fuck with their baby daddy," you know, every now and then. But somebody mentioned like I would literally vomit. Like if the thought of I can't even really get it out, but the thought of having to be intimate with my ex-husband, like I can't even form a sentence. So it would never happen. It would never ever happen.
I have heard that. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, however, when he was in a situation, when he didn't have a place to stay on his weekends to spend time with the kids, he would come and spend the weekend at my house. And so I think people on the outside looking in assume that we were still sleeping together, but nothing of the sort ever went down like that. So people are going to form their opinions and they're going to be insecure if they're going to be insecure. But I don't want to ever have to be in a relationship where I'm insecure about whether, you know, you fucking somebody you used to fuck with or you're going to fuck with somebody new. Because at the end of the day, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And then they're just not the right person. I'm not in a position to tell nobody who they can and can't talk to. I'm not your mother.
I just know from a fact, you're not going to be besties with someone that I smashed before. That's just not going to happen.
I mean, it just... Me be besties? No.
But then how are you going to allow me to be besties with someone as well? Like, I'd be shocked.
Well,
almost.
One thing I'm real big on communication. So let's just say you and I were together and you were friends with this girl that you had smashed before. You told me you smashed her. You know, I may say to you, well, what are your feelings, you know, about her now? Do you feel like it's still a possibility? We would have a conversation about it. And I would ask you, do you think that you're able to, you know, carry on this friendship and be faithful to me? And I just want you to be honest and let me make the decision whether I want to deal with you or not. I'm not going to ask you to let go of a person. It should be your decision. If you think that you can't be faithful, you should be man enough to say, well, let me step back from this friendship.
But most guys are not going to do that. They're going to be like, okay, I'm having my cake and eating it too. I'll give you a prime example. Before I was in this relationship, and I was in between my relationship with Tori and this girl that I'm with now. And I had gotten some pretty explicit groups on Facebook.
Backpage, what up, Backpage, what up?
No. It's not on Backpage. It's like it was this group. It was recently shut down from what I heard. RIP Splash. But my girl, I was showing her something on my phone and I was ridiculing because in case everybody who doesn't know out there, if you have mutual friends in a sex group with you, anything you like or comment on is going to appear on their feed. So I was showing her something of a guy that we mutually know. And she was like, well, why the hell are you in that group? And I was like, oh, shoot, you know, like, because my notifications are off and stuff like that. I couldn't sit here and say, and I tried to position it to her like this. Look, it's no difference in me being in this group as opposed to me watching porn. It's the same thing. She didn't get it. She was like, no, get out.
I got a problem with that, though. My man cannot watch porn. I got a problem with that.
Why not? You know what? I'm not going to get too far into this because that's a topic I did have. And I had that on another podcast. Shout out to the Daily Bread Culture. I had that topic before, but I did want to find a woman that finds that to be repulsive or find that as a no-go because
we're definitely going to have her on again to talk about that. I wanted to go back to what she was saying about you know, baby mamas and baby daddies and whatnot, and how I've heard plenty of dudes say, like, you know, that's your baby mama. You should be able to hit that whenever you want. And it's kind of a thing where they feel like just because somebody has a baby by you that you own their body for the rest of their lives. And that's kind of
psych.
That's pretty, you know, dangerous and possessive and dangerous to have that type of mindset where you're like, yo, this woman had my child. That means I have the right to her body whenever I feel like it, no matter if she got a boyfriend, don't matter if she got a husband, don't matter if she gay now or if she just is celibate, no matter what. I hit that one time, I should be able to hit that forever. And that's one of those, I kind of say like men are more possessive than women are. Those are the kind of things that men do. Like men will try to.
That's possessive though.
How is that not possessive?
Because they only feel like that because they've been allowed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can guarantee you, my ex-husband don't feel like that because his shit would get chopped off if he came.
Whoa, hold on.
It would just get.
Hold on, Lorena Bobbitt. Hold on.
I'm just listen. He knows. Like in fact. He said something slick to me when I moved into my house. He made a comment about my big tub, my garden tub. He told me something about I don't even know what he said, but it was inappropriate, and he almost got cussed out and put out. And he still had a whole bunch of shit to unpack on the U-Haul, and he was about to get the business. So my ex-husband doesn't feel like that, and it's because I haven't created an atmosphere where we go back and forth sexually. So if a man feels like that, it's because the woman is giving him a reason to feel like that.
I do understand. I understand like leaving the door open as far as like, continuing to still sleep with that person. But where it becomes dangerous is when they feel like they can do it whenever they want to. And then, even if you do have a man, that they should be able to still hit that because they're your baby daddy. That's when it hits a different level.
Let me just look. So let me make this full circle though. It's funny though that you say that because the guy that I was talking about that liked me, but I didn't like him, although he did not cheat on his girl/wife to be at that time with me, he did go back and fuck his baby mama while he was with her. So she worried about me, but when he, obviously she should have been worried about the baby mama, but she was one of those people that, that's my baby daddy, you know what I'm saying? Can't no however tell me have him on blah 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 all that BS, but it's all subjective really. Like it just depends on the situation. Because I've heard women say that too, like that's my baby daddy, I can always get that.
Yeah, and it is some women that do feel like that. I don't have a baby mother or father, so I guess I'll never know. I do know a girl that I was once involved with that had I didn't even know that it was so deep with her, but she had like a smorgasbord of niggas. Like she was messing with her baby daddy / ex-husband. She had a boyfriend. She had me. She had another nigga and a girl. I was like, wow, what the hell?
Okay.
But things like that happen. And needless to say, we're no longer friends either. So anyway, I know that everybody's a little bit pressed for time. These were some good conversations. I do look forward to having you both back with us on the Committee Podcast. We're going to talk about that porno topic that we had, but for now we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this bad boy and be done. Once again, shout out to South Breeze 706. We hope to have you back soon. Thank you, Lauren, for coming in. Of course, Marcus, it's always a pleasure. I am Adolphus_Savage on all social media. If you ever feel a little nasty and want to just text, I mean, not like that, but like if you want to like have some good content,
that back page is always open.
I thought back page shut down.
I'm worried about you, Adele. Okay, Mr. Savage.
You don't have to worry about me. Like I was talking to my girl the other day, and we were just talking about like life, and I was like, "Look, you don't have to fear anything I've done because I've done everything you can do in a strip club, like everything you can do." So I mean, all that partying and turning up, I'm too old for that now. So anyway, I'm a changed man. I'm a good Christian brother. I'm Adolphus Savage with the gold teeth now, and I'm out.
Jesus saves. Jesus saves. Real quick, my mom sent me a text with this T-shirt in it, and it says Falcons. They don't always go to the Super Bowl, but when they do, they blow a 25-point lead. Stay ringless, my friends. # cries up. So,
wow.
any of you Falcons fans out there that listen to this podcast, I want you to @ me, and I will buy your shirt and send it to you.
Did you see my son's room? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Cries up, Falcons fans. You blew a 25-point lead in the second half to one of the oldest quarterbacks in the NFL.
So that's awful. All right, y'all.
All right. Shout out to South Breeze 706 for blowing a 28-3 lead with the Falcons. We're out.